This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, I'm going to be evil, but not even in the way that I enjoy being evil, because we are playing the LURRIS KROXA Cat Oven Sacrifice deck. I know. Whenever I'm putting a cat in an oven, I feel bad. I don't feel bad about the cat. I don't feel bad about cooking the kitty and eating the kitty. I feel bad about the epic amount of time wasted by me, for me, and the opponent. So I don't actually like cat oven decks hardly at all. In fact, in unranked, if somebody plays a cat into an oven or an oven into a cat, I concede almost immediately because this game is going to take about twice as long as any other game I could be playing. So I'd better off finding a new opponent. So, I see it as a goal of the channel to let you know out there, gamers, what you're getting into when you play this game, and especially new metas like this with new cards. What's good? What's going to rise to the top? What's going to dominate a format? You have to know what's out there, and this is out there in a big way. This list comes almost completely from Kroxas, who has been streaming with a Rakdos Sacrifice deck almost exactly like this. And he hit #1 Mythic with this deck yesterday at the time that I'm recording this. So this is an affirmed #1 Mythic deck, and it does have a number of new cards. So we should show it to you. We should go play it. We should give you the full rundown on how it works. First of all, LURRIS of the Dream Den. It's a companion, people. The 1 and hybrid 3/2 lifelink companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. We did it. Ta-da! And then the ability is during each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. We all know how good the cat deck gets when it has multiple ovens. This lets you find and play, get your ovens out if the opponent destroys them. We also know how good Priest of the Forgotten Gods is. This lets you keep Priest of the Forgotten Gods coming back. And without Mayhem Devil, and without Midnight Reaper, that's the other big one. Those 2 cards have been cut from the deck to make way for the companion. This becomes even more a Priest of the Forgotten Gods deck. But where LURRIS really shines is casting Kroxa over and over and over again. And yeah, Kroxa dies, but the fact that you can use this every turn and slowly drain their hand, and not so slowly drain their life total, is a big deal. Other cards in the deck to fill it out include Rixmati Reveler to refill your hand, and Dreadhorde Butcher to put on constant pressure. Claim the Firstborn we've seen with Witch's Oven and Priest of the Forgotten Gods. It's a blowout. But then we have some new cards. Call of the Death Dweller returns up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them. Put a Menace counter on either of them. If your LURRIS dies, this can get you back your LURRIS, but it can also get you back Priest of the Forgotten Gods and a 1/1 to do that thing. It can also get back Kroxa, but mainly I think you want to keep the Priest going. This is a spell, and LURRIS restricts the casting cost of permanent cards, planeswalkers, artifacts, things like that. So you get away with this 3 mana cost spell. It's amazing, though, how strong the deck is for being all cheap cards. Anyway, 4 Serrated Scorpions. This is a new card. Whenever it dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. 1/2. Solid body. The life is what impressed me more than I thought it would, because gaining this life makes it really hard for the opponent to race you while you're doing all your shenanigans and draining them out. Then you have Whisper Squad. This is 1 mana for a 1/1, and the 1 in a black searches your library for a card named Whisper Squad, put it onto the battlefield tapped, shuffle your library. So you get to keep fetching more and more 1/1s. What's so special about fetching 1/1s for 2 mana? Honestly, it's just this micro war of attrition so your mana doesn't get unused. And in specifically, probably the best place where this shines is with Priest of the Forgotten Gods. You get the 1/1 creature, you use the mana to search another 1/1 creature, you have 2 creatures to sacrifice to the priest, and you make 2 mana that you can use to do something else. So it's like free mana if you use it in the right order. So just keep that in mind. If you say want to cast your Lurrus and you have a Whisper Squad on the table and a priest, you want to use the 2 mana to fetch the other Whisper Squad first, sack them both, make the 2 mana, play your land, and then play your Lurrus. Not the usual way that we're used to, which is play the creature, then sacrifice the 2 creatures to priest, then use the mana. It's funky, but you get used to it. All right, a lot of talking, by the way, in new format videos because there are new cards to go over, and I like to go over the reasons why the cards are in the deck and a bit more than normal, whereas after you see this a few hundred times, I don't need to go into detail. For you best of 3 gamers, I've made a little sideboard. It's a bit different from the Kroxa's version. Kroxa's, by the way, if you don't watch Twitch very much, is a streamer. Probably the biggest Magic streamer, definitely the biggest Magic streamer right now. He's broadcasting 2,000 to 4,000 concurrent viewers regularly, which is pretty epic in Magic. So he gets a lot of clout. He gets a lot of notoriety, and I watch him because basically a whole bunch of people are going to copy whatever he does, and that's what I have to be prepared for on ladder. And now I'm copying what he does so I can prepare you for what's on ladder. See, it's all cyclical. It all works. Anyway, this little sideboard has Deadweight and Mire's Grasp because they work well with Lurrus in matchups where they have targets. It also has an Epic Downfall and a Noxious Grasp for other removal options. Bring them in if the creatures you saw need to die. 4 Duress to punch holes in the opponent's strategy. 4 Robber of the Rich for faster matchups. And 2 Act of Treason for big Kraken demon-y boys and Cavaliers and other assorted nonsense. Okay, I think I've introduced the deck enough. Let's dive in. Let the sacrificial nonsense begin. No warm-up game. We're going straight to Mythic competition. This deck hit number 1, so there's no reason to traumatize some poor friends in unranked. We got a lot going on here. It's very tempting to turn 1 fetch for the red to turn 2 Dreadhorde Butcher, which I think is the best aggressive start that we can run, so let's do that. We don't have Mayhem Devil anymore, so the Fabled Passage is mostly there because it has the potential to be an untapped land, and it fills the graveyard for Kroxa. Another day, another mono red. How do we play against this mono red? I think we try to grow our Butcher. And the opponent says no thanks, which is just fine with us. The life gain from Serrated Scorpion will probably be a little traumatizing. There is a Runaway Steamkin. That's pretty good. It's also pretty good to steal, which we could do here. I want to see if they have an Annex, though, so I think I give them 1 turn with the Steamkin. I really hope they don't have removal for the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. There are a lot of options with this deck. You're going to see me thinking a good amount. I'm warning you right now. If you need me to be the fastest paced gamer, you might be disappointed. But yeah, let's create board presence. Make the opponent have the removal. Okay. Is it a shock? It is a shock. Very good. All right, how do we overcome this? Let's take this damage, hang on to the Serrated Scorpion. We draw a land off the top. So, Oven. Man, if only I had 1 more red mana. Oven. Give me that. Attack. Hit. Alright, let's throw you into the oven. If we had another red mana to play the Reveler there, it would have been so nice. Just have the extra body and pump that up to a 4. Now we have to figure out how to dance with this Steamkin. No blocks. And because in the matchup like Mono Red, where we're trying to be as efficient as we can be, I'm probably going to eat this food. Our opponent's going to have an all-in explosive turn here. Oh my god. Yeah, we lost to the second Steamkin, I think. I'll keep gaming. We'll try, but I don't like this. There's the Annex too. Okay, all the hits from Mono Red here. It's too bad Lurrus can't recast Claim the Firstborn. That would be top tier. Alright, let's play you. Now we get 2 of these. We could bring out the Butcher. We could bring out the Priest. I think if we're going to somehow pull our way back into this, Priest of the Forgotten Gods has to have a lot to do with it. What are our blocks even next turn? We throw the Scorpion under the bus against something, but they just Embercleave it. So we don't block anything? Is that even reasonable? I guess Scorpion blocks Fervent Champion. Embercleave comes down. This goes from 4 to 6 to 7 to 14. And then this is another 4. Plus, I think they can play the Torbrand too. There's just no way out, I don't think. We'll have to block with the Lurrus on something. The Butcher doesn't really achieve anything. We could eat the Scorpion and the food, but that's not getting ahead enough on the board. So yeah, we're going to play the Priest. We're going to try to get out of this turn with the Priest on the battlefield, and then we're going to try to draw into enough ways to activate it, but we're probably dead, just to be clear to everyone. Alright, so we put Scorpion over here, and it would just die at instant speed. So we have to block like here, and try to save our Priest. But we're very dead, right? Alright, suit up. So we'll throw the Scorpion into the oven to at least gain the 2 life. But I think we're still dead because we're taking like 20 from the Annex alone. 22 because of the Torbrand. Absolutely disgusting. That was like a really good opening for us, and it still was not close. I mean, it should be a good opener. What's our opponent got? I think they're on fires. So, let's go fires. Let's battle. I don't know if I want to play the Whisper Squad right away. I think I'm better off playing the Cat. It's very unlikely to get exiled. They're not going to pull a Scorching Dragonfire out, I don't think. Alright, so they might be Clarions. Clarions are something to think about. Let's start tearing them up with Kroxa, I think. Play a little bit of a longer game. Well, okay, they take 3, drop off a land. I mean, that's good. We do need to close on them. Teferi, you're gonna bounce the Cat? I guess so. Serrated Scorpion. So we could use a Claim the Firstborn here to wipe out the Teferi, but the Teferi doesn't matter much. We could play the Lurrus, and then we could start recasting Kroxa. That's not very compelling, because they could simply remove the Lurrus. And then we are in sad place. Maybe we're best off putting the Cat in the graveyard, since we don't have an oven. Although, I think discarding Claim is probably best here. And getting down the Reveler. Alright. Hello? Really funny when you click on things in the arena and nothing happens. Another Scorpion. All right, let's keep the Scorpions coming. No Priest and no Oven. I feel like the deck is moping around, and our opponent is about to get into really high gear. Fires of Invention. And we wait. It's a Storm's Wrath. Blow up your own Teferi? Take 2. Interesting. So we have another Kroxa. We have a LURRIS opportunity. I think what we do here is we Kroxa our opponent again. Running them low on cards is going to be hard, but getting 3 damage in is sort of our, I guess, long-term plan. Resource Denial. So we could play the Scorpion, and I guess if it gets destroyed, we're not too sad about that. We just want to keep going after the opponent's face. Just try to burn them out, because right now we're lacking the tools. Our opponent is not lacking many tools. They've got a Cavalier of Flame. And they keep their card. Interesting. Now they get to draw 2. And they don't pump and attack. Curious. What does that even mean? I don't know. I have no idea what they're gaming for. Let's, though, I think we keep playing more Scorpions, less Whisper Squads. Down to 12. I could attack, but I don't know. Maybe the opponent's going to Deafening Clarion me. Maybe I was supposed to. They want a Shark Typhoon. That's why? It's pretty lame. Pretty lame reason not to hit me for 7, I gotta say. I mean, I guess some of you are going to geek out and be like, oh my god, it's a Shark Typhoon! I don't know.
Don't worry, I got this.
Sphinx of Foresight, yep. It's probably time to use that Cavalier Flame now. Nope. This opponent cannot be bothered to give creatures haste. Will not do it. Cannot be bothered. Oh, do you attack with your 3/3 Shark? Mythic, everybody. The land of only the greatest Magic players. I mean, I've played against people. I've played against better people in Bronze, but what can you do? Maybe they're just having a really casual Sunday. All right, Kroxa, come on out. So what do we want to leave in the graveyard? The other Kroxa, probably? So that LURRIS can cast it. LURRIS can also cast things like Reveler from the graveyard. This is a little awkward, but... maybe I wanted to leave my cat. Unclear. But look at all the life. Like, look at the life total that these Scorpions, like, increase you to. This is why they give you a chance in weird games like this, where we should be dead. We should absolutely not be here. But we are fighting.
This might be a bad idea.
Right? It's the land. What's the last card you've got? There was a scry to the bottom. It could be another land. I don't think they can kill me if I block just the Cavalier, even with all the pumps. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So 3 to everything? Whoa, okay. Maybe? Yes, no. Alright. Well, I need to not block with Kroxa. And then I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull out the calculator. 7 plus 6 plus 8 is 21. I'm at 26. I don't know what their last spell is. But they are very close to dead. So I'm assuming this is a blocker or a Wrath or just something to stop the Kroxa. It has to be. Okay. Okay. On the play, this is the first time we see Cat and Oven and a Priest that has, well, we haven't had a Priest live yet because Mono Red, like, absolutely blasted us. Let's keep. We also have Blood Crypt. This is a very key land in the deck. You've seen some mana issues here and there. Alright, so we lead with Cat. They won't exile it. On the play, we can lead with Cat and then follow with Oven. Nobody's going to turn 1 duress me. Not in current best of 1. That's so uncommon. Tranquil Cove, okay. Here's a Scorpion. Want to get that underneath the Dovin's Veto or anything of that effect. So when to Oven your Cat? You do the end step Oven loop. It used to be you would leave your Cat in your graveyard if you thought you might draw Mayhem Devil and had something you wanted to ping. This deck actually reduces the decision making. There is no Mayhem Devil. So now you just always bring back the Cat for the most part. Ready, ready. We got a slow clicker here. They're probably hiding an Omen of the Sea. All right, 2x speed gang. Where are you at? It is time for the 2x speed gang. I think we play out the squad and the priest. Our opponent can't shatter for at least 1 more turn. Which means we're going to get to activate the priest and the squad. I'll lead with the squad in case they're a Quench gamer. Maybe they'll counter it. And I'm intentionally not playing the other land so that they know they can counter this. And we'll go for Priest. But I think they're just Omen of the Sea, if they're like most of you control mages out there. There it is. Part of what makes this deck so good is it's so hard to stop the damage. Damage just always keeps sinking through with the Scorpions, with the Priest, with the Kroxas. Like, you don't need to be attacking to hurt people. So every chance, oh yeah, Cat Oven. So every chance that you do hit them makes the rest of their game even harder. Well, that's good against my Priest, unfortunately.
My voice is unmatched by my peers. Keep an open mind.
Narset's going digging. Finds Banishing Light. Fun. Not a card I can punish. I don't have a way to blow up the Banishing Light and get my card back. Alright. So we're going to want to use Priest, but we have to get rid of Narset first or we don't get to draw the card. Which I think is worth it. So go get her. Now, we'll activate the Whisper Squad. Go get a Whisper Squad. We'll activate Priest. Target here. Submit. Sacrifice the Cat and the Squad. Draws an extra card. So we could go get 2 more squads. I think that's better than playing LURRIS, because if the opponent plays a Wrath, I'm going to want to have LURRIS to rebuild. And we can save this activation for end step. As you see the power of the squad. Hashtag squad goals. So, which Shatter of the Sky would you like to use? This one. Now, do we want to thin our deck of the last Whisper squad and have it in the graveyard for Kroxa? I think that's a good idea. Because drawing Whisper Squad when you can't fetch other Whisper Squad is the worst. So this way it goes to the graveyard and then Kroxa can eat it. Let's also eat our Scorpion for a food so we can bring our cat back after the Shatter. Another land, all right. It's time to thin this deck, play LURRIS, and get Priest. This is very much a Priest deck. You want to be running the Priest all the time. Now, we know the opponent has a Banishing Light, which might take the Priest, but they also might take the LURRIS. Because the LURRIS lets me recast the Scorpions and the Whisper squads every single turn. If they have another Shatter, that's, you know, that's really good. that's going to be a problem. But we're still getting chip damage in with Cat Oven every turn. And you know they want a Banishing Light the Oven. You know they do. Alright, they have targeted the LURRIS. They could have Glass Casket still. Sacrificing the LURRIS, though, lets us get it back with the Dweller. I'm going to take the risk that they don't run Glass Casket. This seems like the stock list that Paulo won Worlds with, and it looks like we're rewarded. See if this resolves. Nice. Attack with Cat. Drain with Priest. Find a Scorpion. Play a Scorpion. Let's shock in the Blood Crypt. I don't think we're going to need the life here. Use the mana, draw a card. It's a claim. I could untap my Priest and use it again. I think that's about as good as it gets. Dovin's Veto. Let's see if they use it. Yep. Well, we got that out of the way. Now if we draw a Call of the Dark Dweller, we're in a good spot. Would have just been lethal if we got to activate this. Okay, they have their Dream Trawler on 6, but that's just a sacrificial Dream Trawler. So we'll run the Cat Loop. And that's game. It's just about when will the opponent realize. I feel it. I feel it, blue-white control. I feel it. I love blue-white control so much, but part of the problem with it, how do you stop the damage from this deck? It just keeps coming. Dream Trawler, too slow. That's going to be the experiment when we try to make our control decks better. How do we stop that damage? How do we offset that with life gain? How do we beat this deck? It's so hard. Miss Dangerous. Dangerous, the girl is so dangerous. We've got Cat, we've got Oven, they've got Red. They could run Scorching Dragonfire or Lava Coil. Let's get the Oven down right away. Right? Right. Let's just get the Oven online. Open the Oven for business. Runaway Steamkin. We learned how fun that card can be. But we once again have the Reveler. And we have the Priest. If we play the Priest, the opponent pretty much has to remove it. The other thing you can do is claim the Priest to give it haste. Let's do it like this. Let's play the Cauldron Familiar. Let's play a tapped land so we don't have to take damage from it later. Let's start setting up our life gain and blocking engine so the Steamkin isn't hitting us, and let's see if we can set up a better Claim the Firstborn. Because next turn likely is going to be Priest Claim. Alright. Opponent plays Haste. Haste Critter. Rimrock Knight? Rimrock Knight. Annoying, but effective. Alright, let's bring back the cat. We might be throwing a chip shot in with it, we'll see. And yeah, I think that the play this turn is Priest and Claim. Now, I could claim and Rixmati Reveler and have 3 mana, but I don't have anything to do with that mana. It would just hit the opponent for 1 more damage and give me 2 foods. And I'd have a Reveler. Plus, Priest is unlikely to live against them anyway. But I think that Priest is the better threat. So let's stick to the better threat. I can still run the cat back to block the robber. No, I can't, because I'm throwing this in the oven. Oh well. I guess blocking the robber isn't going to be the thing. We're going to try to be aggressive. We'll see how that works out for us. The opponent does really want to kill that priest, though. And then they're going to want to kill the priest after it, and hopefully the priest after it that comes back from Lurrus. And hopefully that's too much for them to handle. Alright, no trigger because they didn't play anything. Wonder if that was a mistake. Rimrock, sure. And yeah, they should do that now while the oven is tapped. 100%. Okay. Well, we're down to Rixmati Reveler discarding one of these, which I think is fine. So let's lead with that. Discard the Blood Crypt and hit basic, and here's Priest. I guess I didn't have to shock if I had held on, but you still want double red. Like, the Blood Crypt is actually an important land that you want to shock for quite a bit. So do I attack here with the Cauldron Familiar and get that chip shot in because I can sacrifice it to the oven, bring it back and block? No, we still want to use the oven if the opponent targets this with a Bone Crusher Giant. So I definitely shouldn't have made that play last turn. Learning as I go. I don't spend a lot of hours on sacrifice decks because, as I said in the intro, I don't enjoy this. But it's definitely not a 0 IQ game. Like, you gotta be pretty smart to master the cat oven. Just like you gotta be pretty smart to be a rocket math scientist, which I'm not willing to put in the hours to be either. Do they attack? You know, it's their full turn if they Embercleave here. It's their full turn, and they would still lose one of their attackers. They're doing it. They have made their choice. All right. You here, you here. Threaten 2 trades. The cleave. The sword is lit, gamers. We legit. So who do you want to keep? You want to keep the Rimrock Knight, okay? So we can go ahead and do the damage. This can absorb 1 damage and then still come back and we can still run the oven game. But the opponent's not going to have a creature next turn. If I can play LURRIS and get back another creature and use the cat. Yeah, I'm really not liking this play by the opponent, and I might be able to get back the Reveler with Spectacle as well. Maybe they didn't have a lot of choices, but they thought about it a lot. Alright. So if I play this... get another Priest probably, but I don't want to sacrifice another Priest. I drew a Whisper Squad. It's a really good sacrifice target. Let's just go with that. And then we can play the LURRIS after. So I'm going to use the Whisper Squad. Going to activate it. Going to sacrifice it. Going to grab a tapped Whisper Squad. Going to activate the Priest. Going to sacrifice you and... oh wait, hold on. I wanted to sacrifice the cat, but we should attack first. Leave an untapped Whisper Squad. Make 4 mana. Another Priest. I guess that's better. That's better than playing LURRIS into a 1-drop. So we'll play another Priest, and our Whisper Squad will fetch us another 1/1. And now the action is getting intense. Like, how are you going to keep a creature on the board to carry your Embercleave for you? Full price light up the stage, always a good sign. Man, if we can find a Scorpion, the lethal should be straight up. Alright, fetch a Scorched Spitter. Let's go fetch another Whisper Squad. 1 left in the deck. Now, do we sacrifice this to bring back a cat and get another Drain so that we used our oven this turn? Why not? Rixmati Reveler. That is a hand reload. Alright, so first things first. Whisper Squad up. Go get you. Let's go ahead and activate Priest, target you, sacrifice cat, and tap Squad. Down to 6. Draw. It's a Scorpion. We can play Scorpion here. Now we can play the LURRIS to get the Scorpion back. So, yeah, we go like this. And we also have double cat here, but I'll show you the play I was talking about. Here's the LURRIS. Here's the Scorpion. Here's the oven. And that will get him. Alright, we've got the turn 2 Butcher or Priest or Kroxa. Our opponent has no companion. That's usually mono red these days. Let's keeps. We'll play it super sharky. Super spike. Yep. Alright, black mana. I can definitely tell we might have some mana issues. Ooh, cat oven. But I think you just go in with the Butcher. Butcher sort of paralyzes them. If they let it grow, they'll eventually have to trade 2 threats for it, and if they add stuff to the board, same thing. Okay, Fervent Champion, sure. Now they're gonna want that light up the stage, aren't they? Don't they always? No. Alright. Well, I think we want to deploy the oven no matter what. So let me start there. I don't think this is a Kroxa turn. Okay, that resolved easy. So they don't have a shock. It's kind of weird. Let's keep getting in with Butcher. The bigger it is, the harder, the sooner they die, I think is a way to put it. So they're probably going to have an Annex. Let's get a Priest on the board. It actually matches up well against both of these. And we have an Oven. If they Bone Crusher Giant, we throw it in the Oven, they don't get their Giant. It's pretty good. Uh-huh. No Giant for you. Target fizzled before it could resolve. Okay, the 1/1 army is coming. Another Oven, a Whisper Squad, a Cat. And Kroxa. Well, I'm staying aggressive. Here's Kitty. Here's Oven. Here's Whisper Squad. Robber of the Rich, sure. I think the opponent's starting to think that they only go one way. Like they just all in attack every turn, every turn, every turn. If we draw a land, we can play Lurrus and get something back. All right, well, we can't do that. No claim me a firstborn against this Oven. So they played this Robber of the Rich. They might regret that, because I can just kill this now. And they go to combat. How aggressive are you? The cat trades for something and I just get it back for free, so that's not a good trade. Alright. We did it. They're done attacking. Whatever could have caused this. Another Priest. They're getting really low on hand, but I also have this Whisper Squad. I love my squad value, but I think I make them deal with Priest. I think if I have a Priest, they're in a lot of trouble. Not to mention it blocks their board. I could attack with the cat if they kill it. It's like a free recurring of the cat. Otherwise, they're just taking a damage. Because I have this excess food sitting here, it's just free cat drain is what that is. One more cat drain. One of the things I wasn't good at with the cat in the past. I almost never saw that play. Bone Crusher Giant, well. Still get no 4/3. As the Oven continues to do work. Let's see what they do for attacks. They do have this castle now. Makes some of their creatures a little better. They're going to make that unblockable, I hope. Okay. Alright, the cat came back. My OCD makes me sack the Summoning Sick food token that's sitting over here on the side. Like whenever you make a new token, it just goes off to the side. It's like, no, get back in line. So if the opponent was really slick, you could hold your Bone Crusher Giant for the end step to see if I tap both of my Ovens to use my cat and then resolve it on the Priest of the Forgotten God, so you have a 4/3 to play later. If you try to straight up time it, like a good player can get you for that though. They just don't use one Oven for one turn. So we drew a Butcher. I like a Butcher, but I want their last card. So I'm going to play a Kroxa. Before I do that, let's do the cat thing. Get that free point of damage, or the free cat trigger. So I could full control and Kroxa for 2 foods, but I'd rather have cat triggers. I'd rather keep draining the opponent out and gaining life. So it's not, I'm not missing it. What you can do is you can go into full control and then create a window for this oven. So I'm going to show that to you, but I'm not actually going to use it because all I want here are more drains from my cat. The oven and my cat want to keep doing the thing, but if I wanted to, by turning on full control, by hitting the control key, I could, in this window, sacrifice the Kroxa to the witch's oven, but I'm not going to this time. All right, we got their Phoenix, which they have enough to bring it back. That's a problem. That could be a big problem. Phoenix of Ash is not what I wanted to see there. But they're not playing it. Bizarre. How bizarre. Music trivia. Who had the hit How Bizarre in the 90s? What was the name of the group? Answer, ODM. They're like me. They're like CGB. They use letters instead of name. What did ODM stand for? I don't know. So if anybody in chat wants to tell me, how dare you take my Scorpion? I guess that was a good reason to use the robber. Alright, do we want to kill the Fervent Champion or the Robber of the Rich? I think fetching more 1/1s with the Whisper Squad is too low impact and too mana intensive in a game where we've only had 3 lands the whole freaking game, so... yeah, poor Whisper Squad, been failing me. Alright, they've got my Scorpion, which is really good against my Butcher, unfortunately. This cat against the world. This cat is Bianca Belair. She's on her own against the world. There's a few like hardcore wrestling fans who will get that reference. Sound off in comments. Let me know I'm not just talking to myself. Alright, we finally get our 6/6. We finally get land number 4. Who wants to stay in the graveyard to get back with LURRIS? I think the answer is a priest. It's just our best card most of the time. Take 3. And... oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Right? 1, 2... no, not quite, right? We have to attack. This is where those kitty cat chip shots come in handy, but... so, kitty cat death. Bring it back out. And that's game. All right, back for the fireside chatter wraps, whatever you want to call it. At the end, what do I have to say about this deck after playing it? It's a headache. I feel like I got my degree in cat oven culinary fine art cuisine, but definitely an acquired taste. Not really for my palate. Definitely not something I would go to a sit-down restaurant and order, but certainly nutritious and effective. And if you want to rank, there is a lot of play in this deck. It is, I would say, unfavored against Embercleave most of the time, but if you stick and keep a priest around, you're in a really good place. Priest of Forgotten Gods really shined. This build, without the Midnight Reaper, without the Woe Strider, without the Mayhem Devil, it doesn't have staying power without Priest of the Forgotten Gods and Kroxa. Like, these two run the yard now. It's their house, and we all just live in it. And LURRIS is here mostly to keep those coming back for more. Cat Oven is great, of course, but the whole engine ain't what it used to be. The mana is also tricky. All these basics, I want to run temples, but but I also can't afford tap lands too often. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to be running Temples over Fabled Passage, but there were definitely games where I couldn't have brought back Kroxa if I didn't have the Fabled Passage. So I can't recommend any changes right now, nor would I dare. Kroki's got #1 Mythic with this. Who am I? I'm YouTuber guy. I'm a jobber. Kroki is the Rock. I come out, do the move. He, crowd goes wild. He leaves. I lose. I don't have recommended changes. He's the rock star, not me. But man, do I like this? Do I like it? As far as I hate it, but it's really good. All right. With that in mind, I hope if you guys go play it, at least play some ranked with it. Don't. If I see this in unranked, if you start with Cat Oven, I'm probably just out immediately. I can't be bothered. I don't have the time, man. Nobody does. So if you want to try hard this deck, all for it. Just I think you should probably go play events and ranked with it. That's my opinion. I can't tell you where to play Magic. You do you. Anyway, that's the big moral of this epic cat tale. You do you. And thank you very much for watching this video. I will be on Twitch. I guess you're watching this on Monday, so I'll be on Twitch in an hour starting at 4 Eastern to do what I call the Meta Monday show, which is popular in the early weeks of the format, where we look at all the decks that are blowing up on the internet and putting up tournament results here and there and talk about the new meta. So if you want to come out and check out that show, please do. And then Tuesday is normally Tuesday, where my subscribers send me decks, my Twitch subscribers, that is, send me decks, and I play them as is. So it's for people who have brewed up creative, well-tuned decks. They don't need deck advice. They don't want to know what changes I make. They just send me a deck list, I play it. Wednesday is normally brewing around ideas, or maybe I'll play some ladder if I don't feel like brewing around ideas, but I usually brew around ideas from the viewers. And then Thursday is Deck Doctor Day. You bring links to your deck lists, I review them, and I tell you what changes I would make. So that's the schedule on Twitch this week, and hopefully I will see you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hype. Bye.